Hello book lovers. Thought I'd do a slightly different sort of series on my channel. Obviously have a lot of books, like this shot right here is only like part of them. You can't see below or you can't see up above either. It's just I'm crammed right in the corner here from where my wardrobe is. So I'm pretty much crammed right in to try and get the majority of this in shot and keep out the likes of my couch and my bed. So the series I thought of doing this the other day. I always read my books kind of in the order I get them. Sometimes they do get chopped and changed around. Sometimes I'll like watch a film and really want to read the book that it's based on, or vice versa. And I was moving my books along to the next shelf. I tend to empty out a shelf. As you can see, like right there's a gap. I tend to empty out a shelf before I move the books along, so because otherwise I'd be going for ages, as you can see. It's going to be a look at the books I'm reading every so often. Once I move my books along, I'll do another video, or I'll talk about the books that maybe I didn't like, or maybe I've gotten rid of, or maybe I just didn't want to read. I don't always read the books on the shelf. If I find I'm not in the mood for them, then they go to the end of the to read shelves, as it were. Let's get this started. This is my current to read shelf. I will zoom you in a little while. But yes, you can see, if you've not seen my room tour videos, there are sub-shelves. You can see right there. I have sub-shelves on nearly every single shelf simply because I read too many books. But at the moment we're concentrating solely on the ones that are in front. We are now on the end of, almost the end of September. So we are getting there slowly but surely. And this is the run of books that I currently have to read. So there's a little close-up there of what I currently have. Now you'll see at the beginning there, I have Ghostly by Audrey Niffenegger. I'm not confident that's how you pronounce her name, but whatever. And I also have the Amityville Horror, which I got given as a birthday present a couple of years ago. Those are at the front of my case at the moment because it's October and they seemed like appropriate books to read in the run up to Halloween. I think I'm not going to read them straight away because I'm reading Survivor in Death at the moment, and then I have Stranger in Death coming up. So I'll probably read those two. Survivor in Death isn't there because I am like 100 pages from finishing it at the moment. And then what I think I'll do is I'll read Ghostly and Amityville Horror, or Amityville Horror and Ghostly. Ghostly is lots of short stories by different authors. I think Audrey Niffenegger has one in there, or maybe one or two, or she's the editor or something like that. Then I have Wake by Amanda Hocking. That's a trilogy, and I'm pretty sure that has already come around. Like, I've skipped it one time and it's coming around again. I'm hoping I'll be in the mood for it or be able to get into it. That little book there, the junior novelisation of Frozen. Then I have Doll Bones by an author called Holly Black, which is quite a cute little hardback actually. The next one up there is The Boy with the Cuckoo Clock Heart. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the author's name, but I also have the book of How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff, I think. I should just give up on pronouncing people's names because I really don't know. I watched the film and I wasn't that keen on the film. Read a couple of reviews of the book, so hoping that'll be better. But it's quite a slim book, so it's not like it's going to take forever. Unlike the next one, which is Dominion by C.J. Sansom. I think that's how you say it. I'm not 100% confident now why I bought this book. And I'm pretty sure I've put it off once before, I reckon. Simply because of the sheer length of it. I mean, can we just look at that? I mean, you have over 700 pages right there. I think I picked it up because it's one of those ones where history has changed. So they're saying that Germany won the Second World War instead of Britain. I also have this little slim copy of a Titanic book. I think it's self-published, but it's the Titanic 12 Tales. So it's going to be a lot of very, very short Titanic related stories. I think this was a Kindle only version and then it was self-published in paperback. You've got Dominion just in there and then you've got that Titanic book just kind of right in there. And then you have the Heroine Diaries there, which again I think I got as a present and I'm not sure why now, but I fancied reading it. It was by Nikki Sixx. And then next to that you've got Blast from the Past by Ben Elton, which is a used copy. You may or may not be able to tell by the spine from this distance, but it's pretty well worn, shall we say. I was hoping it was going to be a novelisation of like the film starring Brendan Fraser, but unfortunately not. Next to that you'll see Maiden Voyage, which is an ex-library copy which I got used. If you can't tell by the title, it is Titanic. And next to that you have a Final Destination book. Now I stumbled across these a couple of years ago, and there's a whole, I think there's at least 3 or 4, I'm not 100% sure about that. But this one's coming up at the moment, so hopefully they'll be good. That's Destination Zero. It's kind of, I don't think it's direct novelizations of the Final Destination films, because I do have those somewhere. But I think it's kind of like spin-off stories and things that could have been, or ideas that people have had. Then after that you've got Just One Damned Thing After Another, which is a whole series of books. I think there's something like 9 books maybe, or something like that. I'm looking forward to reading them because they're kind of historical with an element of time travel, young adult kind of thing. And I think they're Kindle only, but the thing I find with Kindle only books that are then self-published is they're always quite expensive. So I think I got that one for quite cheap, but it's the only one I've bought so far. Then I have got The Last Boleyn by Karen Harper. I had this on my wish list for ages, so I'm finally getting round to reading it. I finally got it. And I do like anything about the Boleyn sisters, anything about the Tudor times, Henry VIII. After that I have Impossible Things by Connie Willis and Passage by Connie Willis also. Now I got into Connie Willis by reading Doomsday Book, and I've also read Blackout and All Clear, and they were simply amazing. My Doomsday Book is really tattered, like as you can see. It's quite an old edition there. As soon as I finished it I said, Dad, you have to read this book, it is simply brilliant. I hope the other books are going to be good as well, because a couple of the characters from Doomsday appeared in Blackout and All Clear. Like there was kind of the same vibe to it as the Doomsday Book, which I quite enjoyed. So coming up next you've got You Are Here by Jennifer E. Smith. And next up to that is J.D. Robb, Brotherhood and Death. So obviously I do read a lot of J.D. Robb, and a lot of them come up. You'll quite often see that. If it's not J.D. Robb, it's Nora Roberts. After that, you've got Someone Says You Complete Me, Run by Whoopi Goldberg. I don't have the best experience with Whoopi Goldberg's books. I don't find her as funny as she is in film, or she is on The View, or anything like that. Something there just doesn't translate for me at all, which is quite weird. Then I have Another Night, Another Day by Sarah Rayner. I've read another 2 of her books. I have read One Moment, One Morning and The 2-Week Wait. I would highly recommend One Moment, One Morning, which is really good. Like that grabs you from the get-go, and I've recommended it to quite a few people. The 2-Week Wait was just okay. I don't think it quite had the same magic there. Then next up there you have Guilt by Catherine Longshorn. Now I think I got that for quite cheap from a shop locally. And then you've got a non-fiction account of the Titanic there, which is called Beyond Reach. This is the search for the Titanic. And after that you have The Fire Sermon, which sounded good. I'm not sure how it'll be. And there's also The House of Shadows by Pamela Hartshorn, which sounds a bit historical and a bit Barbara Erskine as well. That is the entire shelf that I currently have to read. They're all pretty much crammed in there. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think. If you want any of my thoughts on these books, you'll normally find my reviews. Well, I don't write reviews for every book. I tend to rate them on like Goodreads, for example, so you can definitely find me on there. Or on Amazon if there's not many reviews and I disagree with some of the reviews, I tend to write a review. I think it helps people like me who are looking for reviews. If there's none there, then you're like, well, what do everyone else think? But definitely know in the comments below what you think. And hopefully I will try and make this a regular series. Hopefully there's a few on here that I'll be able to get rid of, like Dominion. The book situation is currently getting out of hand. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!